What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Rideshare Hub. My name's Greg. I hope you guys are all doing okay, staying safe, and being freaking awesome. Got a monster video for you guys today. 69 tips for new Uber drivers. All right, so I'm just gonna rattle these off. Let's kill it. Hopefully these help you become a better driver. Number one, I think this is like easily probably one of the most important things ever. Probably literally is the most important thing ever, and that is getting a used car. I don't want to go too much into this one because I could literally probably talk for like 30 minutes on this one alone. But most of you have heard my story about I didn't buy a brand new car, but I bought a nearly brand new car, and it was easily the biggest mistake of my rideshare career. It ended up being $7,000 in negative equity on the next vehicle I bought. I ran through it, burned up miles on it. It was the biggest waste of money of my life, easily. Number two is sign up for Cover. I'm not going to go into too much details about this. Cover is just the best. Go watch one of our other videos on Cover. Cover is like rideshare insurance, basically, and they've got your back. It's ultra cheap. Link in the description. Check that out right away if you've never heard of it. Number three, inspections can be done on FaceTime, and the company is called Rideshare Mechanic. The link is in the description. That's awesome. I wish I would have done that. Number four is you can use a retroactive code after signing up. So if you didn't use a code when you signed up to drive for Uber, you can use our retroactive code. I'll have a link in the description for that as well. So you can still get paid for that bonus if you did the appropriate amount of rides during that time. Getting my caffeine, sorry guys. Number five is wear a face mask when driving. Obviously this is more relative to current times. You are required to wear one. I understand that this is like everybody's got their own belief on this, but you are required to wear one, and mainly it's going to make other people feel safe, so just do it. Number six, sanitize in between rides, kind of like the last one. You just need to do this. Like, this is something that's really important right now more than ever. I think during normal times, like especially a year or two ago, I wouldn't have told you guys to sanitize between every ride. Now, I would sanitize between every ride, especially because then you can tell people you do it, and they're going to be really thankful for that, right? Number seven, bring snacks for yourself or riders. This is a great thing to do. This is a great way to get tips. I think the easiest way to do this is go to Sam's Club, Walmart, wherever. Buy one of those bulk snack boxes that just has all the like little tiny bags of chips, and just have those. I guarantee you the tips you'll get will probably highly return on investment is what I'm trying to say based on what you paid for those chips. Don't have good words right now. Number eight, music playlist for your car to help with awkward silences and help the days go by quicker. You definitely want to have music. I take a lot of Ubers. One of my biggest pet peeves is when it's dead silent and they're like antisocial. That actually drives me crazy, especially because I've done so much Uber and Lyft. I'm I expect that because I've always done it. You don't necessarily have to have Spotify Premium or anything, but like, at least have the radio on, but preferably Spotify Premium, Apple Music. I guess Pandora. I don't know. I don't really use Pandora anymore. Number nine, be friendly with every passenger. Look, this is just simple. You're going to get more tips if you're friendly. All right, people are going to hook you up if you're friendly. That's just something you have to do. If you don't, that's fine. Just expect your rating to go down and don't expect anyone to tip you. Number 10, have a side hustle or work on a business on the side while you drive in between rides. I think Uber and Lyft is such a good thing because I think that it can encourage you to think about having multiple streams of income. Most of you probably have heard my story. Like I started two businesses while driving Uber and Lyft. And I really recommend it. I always tell people that, like, at the worst, get a commission-only sales job and talk to people about what you sell. And I guarantee you, over time, you're going to get a customer too. So mainly is like, I think it's very risky to treat Uber and Lyft just like some like full-time gig. I think it's more important to look at it as a catalyst to get you somewhere else, or to get a business or a side hustle booming. And this is a good way to have income while you do that. Uber and Lyft is. All right, number 11, don't talk too much to every rider. This is really important. I've had a lot of Uber drivers and rides that I've taken where they just will talk my ear off. I had one time in particular, like, where I was just going through a really, really tough time. To be honest with you guys, I had lost a friend, and I was just really emotional. And I got in the car, and I just, like, I didn't want to talk, you know? Like, I was just thinking a lot about my buddy, and this guy just wouldn't shut up. And I was being, you know, I'm like generally a nice person, so I'm like being nice, but I'm not giving him anything to build off of. Hey, how's your day, man? Oh, it's been all right. Thanks for asking. Cool. So what do you do around here? Oh, I work and blah, 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 you know, and I'm giving him really short answers, and he just kept going. And what is that? Well, he's trying to fish to get a tip. He's trying to, like, strike up this amazing conversation so that I'll tip him good. What did I want to do? I didn't want to tip him. I still did, but I didn't tip him that good because I was honestly annoyed. I'm like, you got to pick up on social cues, dude. So don't over talk. That's very annoying. Honestly, it's like really a big pet peeve of mine. Number 12, hand out free face masks. I would even think along with that, maybe even like have a bottle of hand sanitizer that people can use. Again, it's like being really conscious of current times and what people are going to be looking for. 13, don't surge chase. This is a really important one that most drivers learn after a while anyways, but if you're new, do not chase surges. It hardly ever works in your favor. I've got videos on the best way to go after surges, so go check those out. Again, like that one tip, it'll be like 10-20 minutes if I'd really try to. Surge hacking for number 14. Go through the zones, pick up a surge. I have a surge hack video as well you can go check out, but just to sum it up real quick, basically you're trying to just like not get in the center of it, but get in like the middle of it so you can dip out real quick and not get stuck in traffic. But again, go check out the other video. That's where you'll really hear. I have a surge secret that, like, it made me so much money back in the day. Number 15, do consecutive trip bonuses with airport rides. This is a great way. The 3 consecutive trip bonuses, basically what you do, you start your first ride. The second ride, you set a destination to the airport so that you go to the airport. And what happens is, if you're an Uber Gold driver, you'll automatically get that third ride out of the airport. And bam, just like that, you did those 3 rides. You get a nice bonus. You make good money. Number 16, use all your destination filters. I don't think I ever had a day where I ever had destination filters left. If you haven't really figured those out yet, I also have a video on those. Go check those out. But destination filters are money. That is like cash if you can use them the right way. Number 17, sign up with a referral code before signing up. Number 18, always keep your doors locked when picking up riders, especially at night. I don't think I need to go into depth on why you should do that. Number 19, ask your passengers their name instead of assuming you have the correct passenger. I have literally given the ride to the wrong person before. The dude was drugged out of his mind. I've talked about it before in a video. That's why it's important, you ask what their name is. Most cases people are going to ask what your name is too, but you need to verify for yourself who that passenger is. Number 20, drive cautiously and follow the laws of the road. 21, use apps that pay extra money. Play Octopus, Get Upside, Stereo. I'll leave links in the description for those. Those will make you a lot more money while you drive. Number 22, clean inside of the car and don't worry as much about the outside. You don't necessarily need to have daily washes on your car. Like, obviously, if it looks nasty, like, get it washed. But the main thing is going to be, just doing some light detailing every now and then, but mainly vacuuming. Like, vacuuming is the biggest thing. So I always have had a car wash membership. They're usually like $15 to $30 a month. You can write it off. And you'll get unlimited washes as well as access to the vacuums. And for that price, it's awesome. And if you've got the unlimited washes, you might as well wash it every day too. That was actually like one of the best feelings ever. Whenever I was going out for like a long day, was like getting the car looking pristine before I go out. Don't drive around looking for riders. Don't waste miles on your car. This is really important. Don't just like chase rides. Don't drive around looking for rides. The only time I usually just drop off a ride and then wait for another one. I don't drive unless I'm like in the boondocks. Number 24, use Lyft and Uber as a side hustle, not full time. Kind of touched on that. Number 25, drive for both apps at the same time. That's like, if you're not doing that, you're literally losing out on a lot. 26, this is a big one. Cook from home to save money. I guarantee you, you will lose so much money just buying fast food and stuff on the road. It's really not that cheap when you add it up compared to like buying groceries. I mean, guys, it's simple. Buy like sandwich materials, some fruits and veggies. The other good thing about that is too, you'll eat healthier, you'll feel better. There are some health risks of driving Uber and Lyft, so you want to actually take care of your health because you're sitting all day. You can develop blood clots. If you're devouring fast food 3 meals a day while you Uber and Lyft, you're that's not going to help anything. All right, number 27, track miles and expenses for tax deductions. Maybe get an accountant if you need it. That's huge. Like, again, if you're not tracking your miles, you're going to lose out so much money on tax time. You're going to be paying money is what's going to happen. 28, bring a book for in-between rides or listen to audiobooks or podcasts. My whole thing with this is like, during that downtime, you might as well be doing something productive. I feel like most people just browse Instagram, Facebook, social media. That's just a waste of time. Do something in between those rides that's like moderately productive. You'll feel better about yourself. Drive during peak times and hours. Don't drive during slow times. Very simple. 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. is probably the worst time to drive every single day. 3 p.m. to like 9 p.m. is probably the best time to drive every day. And then if it's a weekend, obviously pretty much like all night Friday, all night Saturday, Sunday. It kind of depends on the market as well as if you've got an NFL team or not. That helps a lot. Number 30, get proper rest. Make sure you're getting good sleep. And yeah, this is big because I've heard like of a lot of drivers that are like, oh yeah, like I don't even go home. Like I drive 14 hours and then they'll sleep for 6 hours in like the airport lot until their account's ready, or I think it's 12 hours now, until their account's ready to go. And then they go out and drive again. Like you're just asking to get in a car accident because you're not getting good sleep in your car. I don't care who you are. I mean, I know some of y'all have minivans and you can put the seats down, but like really over a bed? Come on now. Like don't be that cheap. Just go home and freaking sleep. 31, be nice and treat passengers with respect. 32, don't be afraid to cancel on passengers or kick them out if they're being rude or overly intoxicated. That's a big one because especially when you're early on, you're like almost too afraid to say anything. You have the power to kick people out. And if they're being horrible, just like be like, hey, listen, like I'm not going to deal with this, and boot them. Kick them to the curb, baby. 33, set a schedule. This is really big. I, for a while, would just like randomly drive, and that's horrible. You want to have a consistent schedule. When you become your own boss and you're not used to it, that's one of the biggest things is like having structure. If no one's telling you when to come in or how many hours you need to work each week, you're going to just do whatever the crap you want. So if you're not motivated and you're not structured and setting goals, you're going to end up making less money, or you're going to end up never working and procrastinating until the very last minute. Believe me, I did it for like a year. Had a lot of like 30-hour shifts in 2 days because I had bills to pay and I wasn't diligent earlier in the week. All right, where are we at? 34, set a goal. Well, I kind of just said that. 35, make sure you calculate your car expenses and gas so you know how much you profit each day. That's a really important one because you'll probably be shocked at how much money you're not actually making. 36, don't get frustrated after short rides and small fares. It's kind of like most times with Uber and Lyft, I noticed it balances out. Some of my biggest mistakes would be getting discouraged and being like, you know what, F it, I'm going home early because it sucks out there today. Most days, it'll balance out if you give it enough time. You will get those long rides, you will get those surge rides. Obviously, on a weekend, that's more applicable. All right, 38, expect a learning, or 37, I'm sorry, ask your passenger if they want AC on or off, music on or off. It's just good to be courteous, you know, ask them what they need. I don't know, if you're in Phoenix, I never ask people. I'm just like, listen, we're going AC because it's freaking like Dante's Inferno in this dang city. 38, expect a learning curve to make more money, especially if you're newer. Like, you got to know it's going to take time to figure out how to really do this really successfully. That's why we're here. Watch all our videos. Subscribe, like this one too. 39, get rideshare insurance. Cover is kind of rideshare insurance, but mainly I think we're talking commercial insurance here. 40, drive during the day. If you're looking for safety, drive at night if you're extroverted or don't mind driving people who are intoxicated or sketchy. I never minded driving at night because I'm like, like, I can handle some drunk people, and obviously there's definitely some sketchier rides given at night. I don't know. I've got a tire iron under my seat. I'm 6'2". I'm not really too worried about it. You want to fight? Let's go, bro. 41, get a dash cam. Definitely get a dash cam. That's just a good, I would definitely get one that goes like gets the road and behind you, because then if you're in an accident, especially if you're not at fault, then you're primed to fight that. But also, you just never know what's going to happen in your car. Might want to have one. I never actually got one, and I fortunately I never was in a scenario where I would have needed it. You know, there was the car accident, but that kid admitted that it was his fault. 42, don't start ride until passengers are all inside. My gosh, I made this mistake for years. Just like literally don't start the ride until you're driving away. 43, learn how to do routine maintenance on your car. Save money from the mechanic, oil changes, tune-ups, tire rotations, etc. That's a really good thing too. I'm horrible with cars, and I lost so much money on mechanics, and I really wish I would have just learned how to do some of this work myself. You can literally learn how to do almost all that stuff on YouTube. It really is simple enough once you learn how to do it. 44, don't take cash rides. That's just sketchy, and you're asking to get murdered. It's a little somber there. 45, don't take unaccompanied minors. People will ask you to do this. I have had so many scenarios. This honestly floors me. Like, I almost feel like certain parents need to get arrested. I had a lady one time walk out with her 5-year-old, and she wanted me to drive her 5-year-old to her dad's house. And I'm like, are you out of your mind? Like, you literally don't even know me. So I don't do that. It's not worth the money. 46, don't take babies without car seats or toddlers without booster seats. Again, self-explanatory. That's more on the parents. Like, holy crap, should you even be a parent? 47, drive smoothly and more like a chauffeur, not a taxi driver. Yeah, that's, man, some of you do have lead feet too, and you need to chill the frick out. 48, watch the Rideshare Hub. That's probably the best tip on here. I will say on top of that, just, continually educate yourself on how to be a better driver, whether that's with us or someone else, but, us, definitely us. 49, learn the hot spots in your area, stick to those areas. I've always told people too, if you're new, there's probably a driver who's blogged about the best way to drive in your city. So look into that, just learn your market. Number 50, have friends you can talk to about your rideshare driving, and don't be embarrassed to be a driver. I've said this a few times. One of the best things about my rideshare experience was for about 3 of the years, my best friend drove too. And we were roommates for those 3 years too. So like, one of the greatest things is like, we would go out and drive Uber and Lyft together. We'd call each other in between rides. We'd go get dinner each night, and it honestly, it made the job a million times more enjoyable. That's one thing I can't recommend enough, is if you do have a friend who's in a situation where they could drive, for one, refer them and make some money off them. But for two, it's gonna make the job so much better. It really is. It was one of the highlights of driving for me, is we'd call each other in between rides, talk about the crazy passengers we just dropped off. It was amazing, honestly. Number 51, have a plan B on what you're using rideshare to get to as a stepping stone or another plan just in case it doesn't work out. I've been harping on this since I've been on this channel. Like, you need to not depend on Uber and Lyft. That's one of the worst things you can do. 52, there are discounts for items for drivers on Amazon that we compiled in the description below. Cleaning supplies, car supplies, hand sanitizers, etc. Definitely check out the description after this video. I've already gotten loads of good stuff that's going to be in there. 53, get paid to put ads on your car. Rapify will wrap your car in an ad and pay you as an Uber driver since they know you drive in busy areas. Carvertise is another option. Links in the description. 54, know the airport rules. Follow them or else you can get tickets. I never got a ticket. When I drove in Charlotte, for easily 2 years, I would call the passengers and tell them to meet me at arrivals. I'm sorry, to meet at the drop-offs. Departures. Why can I not think of that? Instead of arrivals. Because in Charlotte, if any of you guys know that terminal there, it gets congested, and it could, at certain times, it would take forever to pick someone up. So I did that for a long time until finally some guy caught me. So I got away with it once, and I was like, hey, I'm sorry, man, I'm a new driver, you know, and he's like, yeah, just don't do it again. And then I got caught a second time by a different guy, and he actually wrote me like a warning. Not a ticket, but a warning. So, you know, you can assume that risk, but I'm going to be a good person and say follow those rules. So basically do as I say, not as I did. 55, check your back seat after every ride for any missing items or trash. I get so mad when people leave trash in my car. Like, that to me is so disrespectful. I've had beer cans left in my car, and I'm like, how did you drink a beer in here without me knowing? But also, believe me, it's annoying when people leave their keys, cell phone. Obviously, now we get paid for it, but there was a time where you just had to hope people were decent. That was horrible. 56, if passengers leaves the phone in the car, make sure you turn it off. You don't want them tracking you down. I actually shared a story where this happened to me, where a girl left her phone in my car and wasn't freaking bright enough to figure out that she probably left it in the Uber. So she was doing the track your iPhone thing, but meanwhile, I couldn't get a hold of her because her phone's locked and she wouldn't call the phone. She wouldn't go to a neighbor and call the phone. She's doing that stupid track your iPhone thing, and it's going off while I've got passengers in the car. It was absolutely maddening. Like, I was ticked. I was so mad. And the worst part was when I returned it, she didn't hook me up at all, even though she said she would. And this was before they actually had the lost item fee. Oof, when I tell you I was like fuming after that ride. But yeah, so turn the phone off so that it can't ring endlessly. All right, where are we at? 57, keep the passenger seat pushed up all the way to maximize space in the back seat for the rider. Yeah, that's just important so that people's knees aren't cramped. All right, 58. You don't get paid a lot for waiting. Don't wait on passengers while they shop, and don't take passengers through the drive-thru unless it's not crowded. You will lose a lot of time if you do this too often. I don't mind stopping for like fast food for people, but if I see a line, I'm gonna tell them, look, like, we can see somewhere else on the way. What I don't mind doing is if people want to go check a place, I don't mind. We'll add more miles to the ride, and guess what? If it's a big line, then we're not going there either. And I tell people that ahead of time, like, hey, I don't mind stopping, but if there's a line, you've got to understand we don't get paid by the minute, we get paid by the mile. If people don't understand that, they're jerks. Like, and you're probably not going to get a tip from them anyways, and I'd just be like, tell you what, I'll leave you here. You can go inside and grab an Uber when you're done. All right, 59, don't wait for the passengers if they aren't ready at pickup. Cancel, collect, and go. Obviously, you have to wait the 5 minutes, but like a lot of times people will call you once the 5 minutes has gone up, and they'll be like, hey, I'm so sorry, I just need another 5 minutes. Don't ever do it, because they probably need an extra 15, and they will milk you because they'll think you'll keep waiting because you need the ride. And I've been in that scenario. When I first started, I stupidly waited 20 minutes for this chick, and then she never came out, and I was just like pretty upset about it. 60, take a lot of breaks, stretch, eat, stay hydrated. This is actually really important. I think I mentioned this earlier, that you can literally get blood clots from sitting too long and your legs just getting stagnant. So you want to make sure you stretch, like I would say every like 4, 5, 6 hours, whenever. Just make sure you stop, stretch your legs out, you know, do some jumping jacks, jog around the airport lot. Actually, I'm trying to remember which city it was that I drove in, but every time I'd go to the airport lot, there was this guy that would just be walking laps around the little parking area. And honestly, that's awesome. Like, that's smart. That's what a lot more of us should be doing when we're like grinding out long hours. 61, find bathrooms that are 24 hours, easy to go to, Walmarts, grocery stores, wherever in your area. This is important. I have taken too many bathroom breaks in alleys, and listen, if you're weekend driving, like, you've understood that when it's past like 10 p.m., a lot of times it's hard to find a good bathroom because a lot of gas stations don't like have them. So you got to start, like, for a while I was writing down ones on certain streets that I knew had them and ones that I knew didn't, because especially if you're in like a newer city. Okay, I'll save that story for a different day because this is already a super long video. 62, focus the conversation on the passenger. Don't talk about yourself too much. This is important. Ask people questions. Like, don't just like chat about you, you know? And this is something I feel like a lot of Uber drivers do, is they just talk about themselves the whole time, and it's really annoying. 63, keep windows rolled down through the ride unless requested. This is important for current times. Normally, I would say keep the windows up and AC on, especially in the summer. But now it's like a lot of people are wanting to you know, have the windows down so we're not like sitting in virus air or whatever. 64, don't play music super loud all the time. Play quiet and relaxing music. If anything, a lot of drivers blast music a lot. This is actually like really, really bad. I've talked to a lot of people like that were passengers that have told me that they've had someone who just had horrible music. My uncle told me a story one time actually where he took an Uber and he said the dude was just blasting the most like hardcore rap music, and he was on a business call. And he said he even like muted the phone, was like, hey, like, do you mind turning that down? The dude wouldn't. Don't be that guy. That's annoying. Like, you got to cater to the customer. Like, you can't expect the customer to cater to you. And that's just like aggressive and annoying. And I think, like, to add on to that, like, don't play overly excessive music that has like a just crazy amount of cuss words. I think it's one thing if like you're picking up the party crew at late at night on a Saturday night. Even then, I would say err on the side of caution and play something a little more conservative, and then just kind of ask them what they want to hear, you know? Be like, hey, I kind of like this music. Are you down for that, you know? 65, have a business card to give your passengers if you have a business. Man, I cannot tell you how powerful the networking is in Uber and Lyft. I think it's like easily one of the best things about the job. And if you have a side hustle or a business, you better be promoting the crap out of it. I have gotten numerous clients from my business from Uber and Lyft. Some of the best clients I still have to this day in my business, I met in a Lyft ride. They're incredible people. We work very, very closely together now. They've actually kind of become like family, which is funny. And it was because I was willing to network and talk about my business, hand out a business card, show them my website. Maybe you print out some like really sick pamphlets saying what you do and you stuff a bunch of them in your back seat pocket. You know, they're like, you should be making money outside of Uber and Lyft through your business, but through their clients, right? 66, think about getting a hybrid or electric car if you want to make more money on Uber green trips. Obviously, you guys have probably already heard about that. We did a video on it. You can make an extra 50 cents per requested green ride, so you never know. It could add up. 67, try out food delivery apps here and there to give yourself a break from rideshare driving. I did this for a while on Postmates. I just like couldn't handle having people in my car for a season. So I did Postmates for a little bit. Ended up absolutely hating it, but you know, it gave me a little breath of fresh air, right? 68, get a regular part-time job and then just do Uber and Lyft on the side. It's much nicer to not have to rely on rideshare. I would say get a part-time job, start a business, whatever it is to where you don't have to depend on Uber. Maybe you do Rover and walk dogs too. Like, I don't know. But the whole thing is you should not depend on Uber and Lyft, because I guarantee you're setting yourself up to get hurt financially if you depend on it for your income. It needs to be a side hustle. It needs to be supplemental income. You know, it should not be your main source of income. I wouldn't even like make it the main way you pay bills. And finally, our very last one in this monster video, number 69, invest your money into an IRA or mutual funds. Create a savings account for energy funds. Save 30% for taxes. Rideshare driving and gig apps don't force you to do any of this, but it can help a lot if you do. I think the mutual fund is one of the most important things on this list, actually. I've told this story before. I got picked up by a brain surgeon a while ago. And, you know, I just kind of flat out asked him, I was like, listen, man, like, there's no way you need to be doing this, right? Like, let's just be honest here, you know? Like, I was like a struggling actor. Like, I needed to do Uber and Lyft to survive for a while. But I'm like, you don't need to. And he said, listen, he's like, I try to make $30 a day. And he's like, and I put those $30 into a mutual fund. And what do mutual funds build at? Like 8% compound interest or something? I don't even know. But, and he's like, and I add $30 in a day. And he's like, guess what? That's going to be like millions of dollars by the time I retire. You know, that's like brilliant. Like, that's your retirement, okay? You're not getting a 401k or anything from Uber and Lyft. So at the very least, if you're doing this full time, be building a mutual fund or something along those lines. Like, don't just do this to survive, right? So that's this video, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this. There is tons of awesome stuff in the description that I talked about all throughout this video. So check that out. Get on all those extra services, make more money. I really, really hope these tips helped you a lot. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to you guys soon.